Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. Tomorrow, Brendan Rodgers is up in the gallows and the mighty SFA and the Lanarkshire Referees Association are wanting to try and bring him down and ban him. Ban Brendan Rodgers for as many games as possible. But before then, Brendan Rodgers has been talking about a player who is on loan. He's been talking about a player that's on loan to St Mirren. He's been talking about a player that we have seen the benefit of him being actually red carded. Celtic have seen the benefit of Yang being red carded. We'll talk about that also. And then we're going to talk about the referee. The referee that's going to be at the forefront of everything in the news tomorrow regarding the Celtic is been given the Livingston game, been given the Livingston Celtic game, and someone has said that the referee's decision, the SFA's decision to appoint Don Robertson as the referee for the upcoming Livingston Celtic match, just days after Brendan Rodgers will hear the outcome of the disciplinary hearing, is absolutely ridiculous. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. Anyway, Brendan Rodgers has been speaking about Quan, and he's been speaking about the fact that he's doing quite well at St Mirren. Is that his level? Will Quan be able to get back into the midfield of Celtic? Will he be able to get past Daniel Kelly? Is he better than Daniel Kelly, or would you rather that the young boy Kelly, who knows what it's like to play for Celtic, and came up through the system? Do you think that he should be getting his chance before Quan, when Quan comes back? Brendan Rodgers is saying it's good to see that he's getting some game time, and he couldn't do that at Celtic. He's made 7 appearances, and he's impressed both the club and the fans at St Mirren. He had a goal a few weeks back that was chopped off by VAR and a foul in the build-up. You would think he was still playing for Celtic, wouldn't you? I think it's unbelievable that VAR now goes back about 3 or 4 periods of passages of play to decide if a goal should be given. Surely if there's a foul about a minute before, the referee should be blown for the foul, not wait until it plays on and then scoring the goal, and then checking to see if there was a foul. That's just the way that VAR is in Scotland. It's a complete nonsense, isn't it? Anyway, Rodgers has been talking about Quan gaining match experience in Scottish football, and he says it was difficult for him to get some game time at Celtic due to the large squad. And as I'm saying, if he comes back in the summer, when we all come back in the summer, where does he fit into the squad about? Brendan Rodgers said, look, again, it was an opportunity to go and play. We're really pleased. I spoke to Stephen. He needed game time, and the squad was too big here. He's a talented player, and hopefully he's going and he's shown the guys what he can do. They're really delighted with him there. Should we just sell him or put him out on a further loan, another year's loan, to see if he can improve? I don't see where he fits in at Celtic, to be honest. I just don't see where he fits in at all. Sorry, but I think it's probably be one that will maybe move full time in the summer. Brendan Rodgers has been talking about the fact that the fact that he was red carded against Hearts. He was red carded against Hearts, and Brendan Rodgers says, look, it's probably been a blessing in disguise, because it's allowed us to look at Nico Kuhn with some in-depth analysis of his game time. And he says, look, it's actually been a good thing. Rodgers was obviously frustrated that the player's momentum was halted. Yang's momentum was halted. He felt that he was coming on to quite a good game. And it's interesting, Brendan Rodgers says that when he sees Yang in training, he's improving in training every day. When I think back to Brendan's first time here, and I think back to Ange Postecoglou, they used to speak about players hitting their peak at this time of the season. It's about managing their fitness and managing everything. Well, Celtics clearly haven't managed players' fitness this season with the amount that have been out injured and hamstring injuries and such. But they used to talk about the fact that players would hit their peak at this point of the season for the running, the last 8 games. Both of them have spoke about that previously. Both managers, and I just find it interesting that Brendan Rodgers is now talking about him, that he's talking about a player that's improving every day in training. That's an interesting one. It's an interesting intake into the mindset of what's actually going on in the background, and maybe the fact that Brendan has obviously weeded out players that he doesn't think will be here next season. Celtic travel to Livingston this Sunday lunchtime, and the manager is going to have a bit of a selection headache, obviously with Yang coming back into the team. Will the manager be on the touchline? When you look at it, we've got Nico Kuhn, who is starting to turn the fans around, I would say. He's starting to show a little bit of what he can do. People are saying that, look, he's not Celtic standard, but got to remember when he came to Celtic, Kuhn, he had some illness that made him lose a stone in weight. And for the lightweight players that we have these days, a stone in weight is quite a lot. So he's obviously put that back on and he's coming into a bit of fitness. Talking about Nicholas, the manager says, if nothing else, in a couple of games we've gained has gained game time for Nicholas, which has been really good. When Yang comes back, we'll have really two players for the one position, two good players for the one position. Is that how far Celtic have went backwards when we look at Yang and Kuhn for those positions? When you think about some of the great players that have played on the wing for Celtic over the years, is it managed decline? Is it managed decline? Or is it just the fact that over the past couple of years we haven't bought players that have been as good as what previous players have? Anyway, the SFA's decision to appoint Don Robertson, the referee for the upcoming Livingston Celtic game on Sunday, has sparked a little bit of controversy, and it'll be just a couple of days. Obviously, tomorrow, Thursday, is when Brendan is up in the gallows and going to get the wrath of the SFA and the Lanarkshire Referees Association. And they decided, yeah, let's put the same guy as ref this weekend for Celtic. And it'll be interesting if Brendan Rodgers is banned. Obviously, the referee is going to get some amount of stick at that game. He's going to get absolute pelters from the fans the whole game. But Robertson and VAR official John Beaton, after their defeat to Hearts in February, are going to be at Ammanville. You can't make it up, can you? You just can't make it up. The referee that was just absolutely terrible that day is getting it back again. Brendan Rodgers slammed the referee and VAR, John Beaton, for their incompetence in that game, and that's what has led. I mean, we got beat 2-0 at Tynecastle. Were we good enough to probably win the game? We could have went all day long, another hour, and we wouldn't have scored that day. So you can understand the way that Brendan's thinking about it, and was it right for the SF? Of course, they're going to do what they do. I don't know why we're getting too bothered about it. Let's see what the outcome is tomorrow, because there's going to be a war of words tomorrow after it. They're going to say that, look, Brendan Rodgers was in the wrong. He shouldn't be speaking about refs like that. And we're saying, right, fucking get the refs mic'd up. Get the refs mic'd up. Well, they are mic'd up, but let's put it out public what they're saying to each other. It could be played over the tannoy like it is at rugby. The TV crew and everyone else involved in the live football events can hear in their earpiece what is being said between the referee and the VAR assistant in the office, but they're not allowed to speak about it. And they give you a heads up. Yeah, it's a penalty. They give you a heads up before the referee turns and goes, it's a penalty. They give you that because they're hearing it before the ref's giving you. And I just think that it should be the same for fans. We're the one that pay, going down that road, we're the one that pay their wages. Well, we are at the end of the day. Paying fans going through the door and people paying to watch it on television. We need that bit of transparency, and we're not getting that transparency. And I think that's what Celtic are going to go for tomorrow. They're going to go completely say that, look, if you just want to be able to have your little conversations, we want to know what's going on. Don't just release the audio a couple of days later. We want to hear the audio as it's been said. There's no need for it to be hidden at all, is there? Anyway, it's going to be an interesting couple of days. I just don't even know what to say about it, to be honest. I'm going to wait till tomorrow, and we're going to sit back with our popcorn and watch the war of words that will come out from Celtic and the SFA. And I'll tell you one thing, if Fergus McCann is still here, this would be absolutely fantastic to watch. This is the moment that you hope that our glorious owner, steps up to the mark, and him and his legal team absolutely rip the SFA apart on this one. Absolutely rip them apart. It's going to be fun to watch tomorrow. We'll not watch it, but we'll get snippets of information as it's leaked out, because these things are always leaked out. Anyway, on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world.
lit. Roll up to the party,